You think conquering Mars is a magnificent glory. The brutal truth is, it's a one-way ticket straight into the solar system's most ruthless prison. Every 26 months, this door of death finally creaks open. Miss a single beat. You'll be trapped forever in this cold, heartless cosmic carousel. Imagine hundreds of agonizing days adrift in the silent, endless void. Your body locked tight in a suffocating metal box, perhaps even smaller than a city bus. You look back at the deep blue earth slowly fading away. This is absolutely no dreamy adventure. This is voluntary house arrest. Then, that fateful day arrives. You actually set foot on the Martian surface. A fiery red, dead silent wasteland opens up to welcome the proud dreamers of humanity. The landscape looks peaceful and breathtaking, sure, but the chilling truth behind it, it's deceiving you with its feeble gravity. Merely 3/8 of Earth's. Thanks to this, you effortlessly execute impossibly long leaps, bouncing across the red sand carpet like a superhero, flashing a triumphant smile under the harsh, alien sun. Everything seems pretty epic at first, giving you the ultimate power trip of ruling a world, right? But the moment you cast your gaze further through the protective visor, the horrifying reality truly crushes your psyche. An entire, dead, desolate wasteland closes in around you. That tiny helicopter is flying, but bitterly enough, it will never have the capacity to carry you home. Many think taking off from the moon is a piece of cake. True, but right here, for a machine to escape gravity and tear through the colossal canyons of the red planet, the fuel required to thrust such a massive weight is a completely unimaginable figure given the limits of current technology. With every grueling, exploratory step across the floor of the arid valley, you finally realize you are ultimately just a lost grain of sand in a perfectly designed natural trap. You must drag your exhausted feet up merciless slopes, gasping for an atmosphere so thin it practically doesn't exist. Care to recklessly take off your spacesuit for just a second? The extreme low pressure will instantly cause the fluids in your body to vaporize into gas. Not from scorching heat, but the pressure itself will literally make your blood boil. Red blood cells shatter, blood vessels rupture horrifically. A brutal, agonizing end arrives in less than 10 seconds. You continue dragging your heavy, slow footsteps across a series of gigantic crevices under the flesh-cutting cold of minus hundreds of degrees Celsius. Stretching out before your eyes is nothing but a desolate, dark desert, absolutely devoid of any way out. But, paradoxically, the most silent and terrifying enemy is tiny. Microscopic red dust particles wield edges sharper than fiberglass. They cling to rock surfaces, then slither and burrow into the smallest crevices of your survival gear. Slowly but surely, they corrode every mechanical joint, causing the multi-million-dollar rover to jam tight. The solar panels are completely neutralized beneath the suffocating layer of dust. The wind begins to shriek in ghostly bursts, carrying a colossal, fiery red death ready to swallow everything whole. Imprisoned in the enveloping pitch blackness of a completely powered-down base, you collapse in despair. An invisible loneliness strangles your mind. This prolonged waiting in hopelessness at the end of the day is the most cruel death sentence. Or you gaze up toward the heavens. The blue earth glimmers like a distant jewel. Now, do you truly understand why NASA would never dare promise to bring you back? A churning crimson hurricane crashes in. A global-scale mega-dust storm roars, drowning out every last glimmer of hope. The space station, the footprints of mankind, and even the grand dreams of humanity. All will be permanently buried beneath the silent red sand. Even knowing this is a door to death, human ambition never backs down. The most state-of-the-art machines, carrying Earth's pride, are launched to scratch the freezing, barren soil of the red planet, desperately searching for a fragile spark of life. Superpowers have poured tens of billions into impossible space race blueprints. Massive floating settlements and space stations have become ultimate symbols of our survival instinct. However, as the cruel Martian night falls, the illusion shatters. Those high-tech radar systems and grand domed bases instantly become incredibly fragile shells. To survive and harbor hopes of returning, humans are forced to manufacture rocket fuel right on the Martian surface by extracting and electrolyzing groundwater. It sounds grandiose, but it is merely an empty theoretical equation, never proven in reality. And what happens if that entire sophisticated system fractures under the -100 degrees Celsius freeze? There is absolutely no plan B to the rescue. Your grand Earth is now just a faded speck of light, standing by, completely powerless, as you slowly fade away. Deep in despair, do you still dream of a rescue mission? Wake up. Agencies estimate burning $10 billion just to bring back a few grams of rock, let alone a human life. More brutally, a machine powerful enough to transport a human escaping the gravitational orbit would demand a mammoth engineering design. Any minuscule mechanical error during the separation of the booster modules is enough to ignite a flame that burns the very last ashes of your hope. Bending down to pick up a rough Martian rock, you bitterly realize a devastating truth. The economic value of this inanimate stone is infinitely more expensive than your own life. The contract you proudly signed at the very beginning of the campaign, in reality, clearly stated this ruthless fact. All that remains is the magnificent, terrifying silence of the deep cosmos, once again slowly swallowing the dark, soulless cockpit. Yet, the urge to expand and explore the universe will always be the fiercest current flowing through human DNA. The mega telecommunication towers still proudly reach. Up to the bloody sky, the satellite fleets persistently scan the horizon. Surely, a day will come when humanity completely masters this unforgiving planet. But before that glorious moment, the bravest pioneers must prepare a steadfast mindset. Once you set foot on that grand ship, there is forever, absolutely forever, no turning back.